Buongiorno, guten Morgen, ciao tutti, benvenuti, welcome. Welcome back to Appa's Kitchen on the road here in Bolzen, Bolzano, in Italy. I'm in the region of Alto Adige, Sud Tirol, South Tyrol. I thought there was a, I thought there was a fly. It's something from my umbrella. So it's going to be a little rainy day today. Doing another day trip. This time I'm going up north here, from here, Bolzano, to Brixen, or the Italian name is Bressone. So why does everything have two names? Why are we speaking two languages here? It's a very interesting history. If you want to know more, watch my other video. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was my first day in Bolzano. And let's see, that was the day I ate schnitzel, Wiener Schnitzel. So look for the Wiener Schnitzel video for the full history. So yesterday I went to Merano, another little town. It was a little touristy, so I had a chat with ChatGPT. I said I didn't really like that. And of course, ChatGPT understood. People don't really do a lot of moving on the sidewalk. The buses don't stop for pedestrians. So I was looking at Brixen and thinking, well, I wonder what that's like. Actually, it looks really nice. It's a very old city. And you know, when I'm on the train, I have this question. The difference between, well, here, I don't know if this really counts as Northern Italy because it was only a part of Italy from 1918. But it seems to me that these cities here were more established. They were wealthier from way back and maybe more self-ruled than in the South, where it was just a succession of different occupiers. The Normans, the Hohenstaufens, the Lombards, the Aragons, all these different people came in, they fought over it, they took over. Interesting though that it happened here much later when this part of the world was then passed on to Italy, and then the Germans, and then the Italians again. And Alto Adige, where I'm at now, is an autonomous region. All right, so anyway, babbling. So I'm going to Brixen. It's raining. Supposedly there are some porticos. There's a church, there's a monastery, and then I'm going to have lunch. That's the plan. I'm using my Sud Tirol card, which I got with my Airbnb. It's a guest pass. Allows me to use public transportation for free. It's so convenient. All I have to do is go to the station, scan the card, and hop on a train. I don't have to make any reservations or anything. So there's a train at 9:05, which I think I'm going to make. All right, so I'll meet you on the train. Let me check my watch and make sure I'm not walking too slow here. Yeah, plenty of time. It's 8:52. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen. There's the station right in front of me. Very close. The mountains are covered with clouds, really pretty. Hopefully, because of the weather, the crowds will be thinner in Brixen. All right, I'm gonna try to make this light here. All right, I just had a little problem scanning my card. So there are green machines and there are blue machines. I think I was trying to use the wrong one. All right, so I think this is my train platform 3. Check. All right, I have 2, platform 3. And it's on time, but there's nothing on the board. Italy. All right, the train is showing on the board now. In retardo, 5 minutes. In retardo. It's so un-German of them to be in retardo. Trenitalia. So this was a train to Merano. That was Trenitalia. Yesterday I took the train. There's my train. It's a regional. All right, made it. It's pretty easy. So there's a sign for the center. I think that's where I want to go. So let me just check my plan here. A lot of people got off, some tourists. I don't know why women started wearing these tights everywhere. They're not very flattering. Sorry. Here at Appa's Kitchen, we give our honest opinions. I'm a little, what's the word for those people that can't control? They just say what they're thinking. I'm a little bit that. So anyway, I couldn't really film much of the ride because there was a woman sitting next to the window. So, and there wasn't a whole lot to see. I was on the wrong side of the train anyway. So some checkers came through to scan our tickets. So it's a good thing I scanned my pass. I was getting a little frustrated because it wasn't scanning. Turned out I was at the wrong machine. So that's good to know. I wasn't paying attention to the color. It was green. I don't know the difference between green and blue, but you have to use the blue machines if you're scanning whatever I have, Sutiro pass. And also it's different. Green machines, they had the QR scanner on the front of the machine. The blue ones, it was underneath. So, all right, so let me check my map, my plan. Claude kind of mapped things out for me. So there's a bakery that's a little bit out of the tourist area that I was thinking of going for coffee and a pastry. And then the church and a monastery. I think there's a castle. And then lunch. And I don't know about lunch because yesterday when I went to that restaurant in Merano, they asked me if I had a reservation. I didn't. I didn't even think I had to make one. Today I thought, oh, you know what? Let me check. So I looked at the website for the restaurant and there was a place to make a reservation, but I couldn't do it for today. Tomorrow, I was able to choose tomorrow, but not today. So might have to go to plan B for that. All right, so that means center. So Claude just said, follow the signs to the center. I'll cross the river and then hit the old town. And the bakery, if I want to go there, is slightly to the east. Make a right before I hit the small center. So just going to start walking, and then maybe I'll plug that into my map. So I was asking ChatGPT some questions. I still ask ChatGPT. I like to ask ChatGPT for historical questions. It's not as good on the ground, and it gets a little bit pissy sometimes. So I get annoyed with it sometimes. And also, they all have limits So because I use Claude when I'm on the ground navigating for other things, I like to ask ChatGPT so I don't use my limit up with Claude and then get stuck. Anyway, I was asking first about intermarriage because as the guy came through checking the tickets, I heard him say danke to the woman sitting across from me. She was very Germanic looking. But then when I looked at him, I thought, well, I can't tell if he's Italian or if he's German. So I asked about intermarriage first. And ChatGPT said it actually was not very common, especially in the early years when the German-speaking population was really resisting the Italian takeover. But it's become more common now. But mostly in Bolzano, not so much out in these other towns and in the valleys. So then I actually didn't think about it, but Bolzano is different from these other parts of Alto Adige, Sud because Bolzano is an administrative center, and that's where Mussolini really focused in terms of the Italianization project. So there are more Italians in Bolzano than in other parts of the region. So about 75% Italians in Bolzano, and then in the other parts it skews more towards like 65, 70% German speaking, in some places as high as 85%. Very few Italians. So it said that I will notice a difference just in the character of these places. In terms of my hypothesis that I was trying to work out, that the North seemed to have more stability for years than the South. I got a really long, complicated answer. It seemed like the answer is not exactly, but possibly, but not really. So I don't know about that. One big difference between the two is the North was more industrial, more centered on trade. It was on the trade routes, and the South is more agricultural. And I think less educated in general. There are universities here. I think the first university was in Bologna. And then, of course, Venice was on the trade route. All right. So here we are in Brixen, Bressone. One thing that does seem the same as in southern Italy is the area closest to the train station is newer, more modern. And then we'll find the old town, Centro Storico. With the older buildings. So this is all pretty new-ish. All right, we're going through a little underground walkway here. And here's a sign for the Diocesan Museum. The Diocesan, I don't even know how you'd say that in English. Diocese Museum. All right, looks like we're getting some older buildings up here. So I think this is the beginning of the old town. Tourist information. I don't think I need any information. There's a bakery. Let's go check it out. brot. Smells good. There's always construction everywhere I go. Kind of sucks that it's raining, but what are you gonna do? Bottega del Sud. All right, it feels like I've entered the old town. It's really raining. Weather app said 45% chance. Oh, this looks like this might be the old town. Let's go through here. So not only do we have tourists now, we have tourists with umbrellas. So we have via Portici Maggiori and via Portici Minori. I think I want to go this way to the bakery. This might be the church over here. It's Brixen. Look at that. I think I'll come back to the church after my pastry. I don't like to go to church hungry. Caffè Duomo. Got some stalls set up here, selling local products. Cute. A lot of tourists. Not as bad as yesterday. At least they're not huge groups, but still. All right, let me see. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, there's a pharmacy museum. telling me to go that way. Which way did I just come from? I just came from that way. The river is here. I want to go see what's over here. Feels very German. It's cold, it's raining. It's really kind of miserable. But this is so pretty. All right, it's a good thing I ignored the map because I am walking in the right direction. I knew it was across the river. So I don't know what the difference is between where I just was and where I am now. This looks kind of older here. I see a lot of people walking without umbrellas. They're very hardy people here. All right, let me check my map. The rain is nice, I mean, in terms of visually. Right, this is where we go. Arke Pastry Shop. Feels off the beaten path. I hope they speak English because I want to ask them what to get. I don't know anything here. Yeah, sculptor. Cool. I don't know about that sculpture with the big boobs, though. Could this be it? Certainly is. This is a pretty poppy roll I was looking at. I'm getting the daily special. Cinnamon. These look really yummy. All right, well, that was good. So I got a little table, and there was actually a seat at the counter, but a woman came in, very Germanic-looking woman, and she asked if she could sit there with me, which I thought was interesting. They were not as friendly there as yesterday in the trattoria that I went to. Very subdued. All right, so I'm going to go back across the river, taking a different route. I'm assuming all roads lead to Rome here. and I want to stop by the restaurant, Decantei, and ask if I need a reservation for lunch rather than just go there and be disappointed. It's really pretty with the clouds over the mountains here. I just wish it wasn't raining, but what are you going to do? Alpine City Wellness Hotel. What's this? I'm going to cross over the other side. Actually, I'm going to walk back the way that I came because this looks kind of newer here. I don't know where I am. So I'll walk along the river. Guggenberg. His buildings, very interesting. Very alpine looking. Well, taking that different route really confused me. I have no idea really where I am. I'm just following the map. I think that's the Duomo straight ahead. I really got turned around. It is Decantei. It looks like it's parking. All right, here's the entrance. Decantei. No idea what that means. All right, I made a reservation for noon. Oh, I did it all in Italian. I think he was trying to speak German to me. And I even gave my phone number. I was like, oh my God, this is like a test. I don't know why he wants my phone number. There was nobody on the list. I don't think it was really necessary to make a reservation. So I always forget in Italian, they have this really weird way of saying I need. In Spanish, is necesito. I need, or es necesario. It's necessary. Here they do this ho bisogno. I don't know where that came from. And I always forget. So I asked Claude to help me. So ho bisogno di prenotare. Is it necessary to make a reservation? So I asked him in Italian, and then he started speaking German to me. What the hell? But he spoke Italian too. He was very nice. He said, buona giornata. Have a nice day, even though it's going to be back in an hour. All right, good. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to splurge today, see what they have. Oh, I should have taken a picture of the specials to run it by Claude. So I think this is, so this is the Diocesano, Museo Diocesano, the Diocese Museum. I think maybe I'll do that after lunch. I'm going to do the Duomo first, which is over here. And then I forget what else. I think there were three things. The Duomo, there's a cloister, a monastery, and the Diocese Museum. Maybe that's the monastery. I don't know. All right, so here's the church. Let's go in. So I guess this is the cloister? I don't know. I don't know what I'm really supposed to be looking at here. I don't know what that building is over there. What's this? These are very old, but I thought it was frescoes that were inside the cloister. Let's go see what that building is. This is just another church. Let's see what's out here. Oh, just the street. Well, I don't see a cloister. Okay, this is the street that I walked on before. Go back around. Maybe I missed something somehow. It stopped raining. It's pretty. This is the cloister over here because I think you have to pay. So there was a question of whether my card covered the entrance. I think this is still the cathedral. Yeah, this looks like something different here. These are frescoes. It's another chapel. I don't know. Yeah, this looks like a cloister. There was a nun in there. Claude told me on the left. This is on the right. With, I'm going to say 13th century frescoes. All right, so this is the diocese house or whatever it is. I just wanted to walk over here and see if they close at 1. Sometimes these places close. I don't know if I have to go through there, if my card covers it. I don't know what it is. Looks like it's a museum. And I'm not really interested. I don't know what this Water Life Festival is, but the signs are all over the place and they keep confusing me. The bishop commissioned a new fortified castle. Why does the bishop need a castle? All right, I'm going to read about this over lunch. So I'm going to go walk past that restaurant again, take a photo of the sign, the lunch specials, send it to Claude, and see what he thinks. Yeah, it's just a bunch of religious crap. Religious art. Might be nice, but truth is I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I already feel like I have soaked up enough. It's nice that the rain stopped, the birds are singing. All right, it's starting to rain again. So I'm going to go sit in the church. I have 20 minutes to kill. I'm tired of walking. I think this is the church over here. Look, St. Michael's School. Cute. Wow, they look so old. I wonder if this is like the 8th grade class or are they seniors, high school? Yeah, it must be high school. Cute. So I sent Claude the menu. I started a new chat, so he doesn't remember what we already talked about, what I did yesterday. So they have those Schlutzkrapfen again, but I'm not going to do that. They also have those bread dumplings, but I don't understand. There's beet and cheese and something else. The daily special is meatballs and gravy sauce with mashed potatoes. Comes with a salad and coffee. So that's what I'm going to get. I'm really hungry. All right, so let's go pray. All right, time for lunch. So I was just asking Claude about the interior of the church. It's Baroque. It had a very different look to me. I mean, I've never been to Austria, unless you count this as Austria, but I've seen pictures. So it kind of reminded me of pictures I've seen of Austria. So I said, is it Austrian Baroque? And Claude said, good eye. Well, I asked what are the characteristics of Austrian Baroque? Light, airy, not as heavy as Italian Baroque. Italian Baroque is very dramatic. It's really pretty. So I said, what about the green? And Claude said, yeah, good eye. So it's sage and celadon. So it's really pretty. Actually kind of chilly in there. Sun is out again, slightly drizzly, and it's time for lunch. So I'm gonna get the lunch special, which is meatballs with mashed potatoes. Should be interesting. Comes with a salad and salad, coffee, meatballs. I think there were 4 things. And then I'm also going to get this soup. I thought they had a barley soup because that's what Claude told me yesterday when I chose this restaurant. But on the menu, there's a consomme with these kanderli, which are this local like bread dumplings that I do want to try at some point. But Claude said go for the potato soup. So it's potatoes with sauerkraut and mountain hay. So what is mountain hay? So it's some kind of herbs or something that you can only get here. So you can only get it here. As long as it's not like innards and livers and, you know, testicles and noses or anything like that, I'll try it. I only get it here. Alpine herbs. It's very medicinal, used as medicine sometimes. So I don't know what it's going to taste like, but I'm going to try it. And then I'll ask him for a recommendation for a wine. All right, so here we go, Decantei. Okay, it's time for lunch here in Brixen, Bressone, Decantei. Eingang, entrata, this way. Piatto del giorno. Fleischbällchen. Fleischbällchen. Popette. Comes a salad, water, coffee.
Saluto così abbiamo una linea, perché ho sentito sì, così. Ok.
So I think this is an amuse-bouche. It's a gift from the kitchen, she called it. Some really nice looking bread here, delicious salad. The wine is Lagrein, which is local red. So special. That's for my soup. Am I supposed to eat this with a fork or a spoon? It's so good. So it's tomato cream, mozzarella foam, and pieces of bread. Oh my God. It's so good. And basil. Absolutely delicious. It's really good. All right, so here's the soup. This chive oil. And this is a little, I don't know, some sort of pastry with spinach and something. Okay. Oh my God, it's really good. I thought it was gonna be thicker, potato-y. It's very watery, but light. It's really nice and hot. The light here is really funny because of the window. Oh, it's so good. It's very light. It's really hot. Let's try this thing. You said spinach.
Okay, ich dachte, wir haben es zweimal gebracht. Nimmt das große, wollt ihr lieber eine große jetzt?
I think that's where the sauerkraut is. All right, meatballs and mashed potatoes. Guy next to me just had it. It's a lunch special, so I guess you just locals come here for lunch, get the special. They're good. They're not like my meatballs. They have some kind of an herb in them, like dill or tarragon or something, but good. Amazing. It was really good. Oh my God, I'm so full. So the meatballs, not my favorite. But it was the lunch special. The first thing, the amuse-bouche, I don't know what she called it. So I think she said it was like a gift from the kitchen. That was incredible. So it was a tomato cream, mozzarella foam, had basil. It was just so delicious. It's so beautiful out right now. And then, look at that guy. And then the soup was really good. It was perfect. It was so hot, like piping hot. Wow, look at this. Did I see this? This looks more interesting than that other place. Looks like a palace or a palazzo. And it's kind of religious. I wonder if this is the bishop's house that Claude told me about. That other place was something else. The sprinkle again. Let's see what this is. And then, what was I saying? So the soup was really good. Salad was really nice and had a dressing on it. And the meatballs, not my favorite. And then nice little espresso. This is a seminary. But I don't know if I can visit. Let's scan the QR code and see what it says. I have no idea what it is. So I scanned the QR code and it took me to YouTube. And it was a YouTube video that showed somebody opening a lockbox. I think it's an actual seminary. People are coming out that look like they belong there. All right, anyway, it's pretty. All right, so that was good. It was a really nice place. She was very nice, the waitress. Actually, everybody was really nice. They spoke English. Thank God. I'm so confused here with all these languages. I said, you speak German? Well, she asked me, Italian or English? I said, my English is better. I said, you speak German? She said, German? Italian? She rattled off all these languages. So I said, I want to study some German now. She said, do you want me to bring you the menu in German? I said, no, thank you. But then I told her I already knew what I wanted because Claude and I decided. So there were these 4 Chinese girls sitting across from me. They, you know, you got to hand it to people. Unlike me, I'm just bumbling around, stumbling on things. Like they knew what they wanted, they knew where to go. I don't know how they found this place. You same as me. So they ordered a bunch of stuff that they shared. They got this pork shank that looks so good. So they were like cutting everything up. They got the canderli. Canderli are these bread dumplings, which I thought would be kind of like little dumplings, like gnocchi. There were three. There were beet, I forget the other two, ricotta, and I forget the other one. Anyway, they were big, big round. Oh God, it scared me. Big round bread balls. And I don't know if they were in a soup or what, but they were really pretty. So they got this pork shank, the canderli, and then a couple other things. And then they were like cutting everything up and sharing it. This one girl really liked that pork shank. She, after she ate like all the meat, and then she picked it up and she was like, it was so funny. So good for them. How they made it all the way here, I have no idea. All right, so I'm gonna walk back to the station. I'm gonna keep filming. I'll show you a little bit more of Bressone, Brixen. So full, like uncomfortably. My stomach hurts. That coffee, espresso at the end, is supposed to help with your digestion. She said I could get espresso or a macchiato, but I figured I'll go with the Italian way. No milk after a meal, because the milk kind of slows down your digestion. So let's see if it helps. There's some t-shirts here for 10 euros. They're kind of small though. I like the colors. Just kind of wandering. I just took a little turn here instead of heading back to the station because it's really pretty. I like this more than where I was yesterday. Verano. No big tour groups here. Oh God, gelato. And I feel like I'm seeing the locals. There were definitely locals in that restaurant. She knew everybody. And some workers. And then school kids. I just saw some school kids. So it has a kind of lived in feel, even though there are lots of tourists here too. Look at this gelato. Yeah, that's kind of a fake gelato. I love these porticos. I don't remember which way it came from. I think this way. Everything smells like cigarette smoke. I don't even see the smokers, but the smoke is everywhere. I think it's just, I'm gonna have to get used to it. So there's a train in 10 minutes I'm not gonna make, and then another one in 40 minutes. So I'm just gonna take my time walking back to the station, walk off this heavy meal. Why does it feel so heavy? I didn't eat any of the bread. Potato soup was really light. Was it the meatballs and potatoes? So it was a really good restaurant. Definitely a destination. I would come back just to go eat there. Oh, I didn't even know how much I paid. I think it was like 30 something euros. So pretty. This pizza looks good. Oh, I guess I could have gone into the old town that way. Just, all these cafes and smokers everywhere. Ugh. All right, viewer, put this on your list. Bressone, Brixen. A very, very different Italian experience. Really cute little place. These views are just incredible. All right, I'm going to end it here. Almost back to the station. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little look at Bressone, Brixen. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao for now. Auf Wiedersehen.
Y pues no me interesa perder es el soldi, pero yo me comienzo a mover por la otra parte con Ernest, por donde podemos enviar las cosas, ya es lo que te había dicho, que con calma, por ahí viernes o sábado la otra semana, ok, te llamo, te llamo el sábado, dale, a la fiesta de los años 80, 70, sí, 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 sí. Ah, ok, yo voy llegando a la estación. Próxima fermata. Espera, sí, Bolzano. Que tú llegas primero. Choncito.
Oh my God. Got a report on that train. First of all, idiot across from me was calling every person in his contact list. He was on the phone the whole time. I think he was speaking Spanish. And he had a backpack sitting on the seat next to him, fully packed train. Then the guy next to me wasn't even that big. He was, a little bit, what's the word? Beefy. But I looked to see, like, is the armrest there? Because he was in my seat, basically. So he saw me looking and he was like, and reaches over, get his phone out of his pocket, leans over to me. I let out a sigh. I told you I can't help myself. What is that word that people who just say whatever on their mind. They can't control themselves. So he again did this kind of like, sorry. So he knew he was bothering me. So then he puts his phone back in his pocket. And the conductor, we're sitting like right up against at the very last seat, the conductor's little office. What is that? The booth. Conductor walks by. He leans over. But because the conductor walked by. Conductor had plenty of room. Then he leans this way, and his elbow comes into me. His legs are spread. He has an umbrella between his legs. Mamma mia. He was really, he was like almost going to get a taste of New Jersey because he was just such a pain in the ass. And I was just so irritated with the guy across from me. And then this guy, he didn't stop moving the entire time. 30 minutes. Leaning this way, the elbow. He has to scratch. I wonder if he was just doing it on purpose. Maybe I should have elbowed him. See if he likes it. All right, back to Bolzano. I digested finally. I was so full. And I think the rain stopped. All right, so I have apples and cheese for dinner. I still have pasta, tuna, anchovies. So I'm going to eat dinner at home. It's still raining. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye.